You suddenly grow to the size of a skyscraper, 300 meters of flesh and bone. Your head is in the clouds. The city looks like a Lego set. It is a dream come true until gravity remembers that you exist. Then everything goes very wrong. The transition is instant. Balance disappears. A slight lean becomes a catastrophic event. Massive weight shifts downward. The human skeleton was designed for a much smaller scale. Bone density cannot keep up with the increase in mass. Your femurs are now the size of redwood trees, but they are still made of calcium. The structural integrity of your legs is now an optimistic suggestion. The ground begins to tremble under your feet. This is the square cube law. When an object grows, its surface area increases by the square, but its volume increases by the cube. You are now 100 times taller. This means your skin and bones are 10,000 times larger in area. However, your volume and weight have increased by 1,000,000 times. The cross-section of your leg bone only grew 10,000 times, but it must now support 1,000,000 times more weight. The physics are non-negotiable. Calcium cannot handle this stress. Your legs do not just break, they explode. The bones shatter into 1,000,000 shards of biological shrapnel. It is a loud, wet structural failure. You are now a very large, very flat person. Being a giant pancake is inconvenient. Breathing becomes the next problem. Your lungs are now the size of warehouses, but the air cannot reach the bottom of them. The diaphragm is too weak to move that much mass. Oxygen delivery simply stops working. Blood is heavy. Pushing blood 300 meters upward requires an immense amount of pressure. The heart is just a muscle. To move blood to your brain, the heart would need to be the size of a house and beat with the force of a hydraulic press. Instead, it struggles. Blood pools in your lower extremities. Your ankles swell to the size of city blocks. The pressure in your veins becomes critical. Capillaries burst. Internal hemorrhaging begins on a continental scale. Meanwhile, the brain is starving for oxygen. You are experiencing a massive stroke while simultaneously being crushed by your own weight. The nervous system tries to send a pain signal, but the signal has to travel too far. By the time your brain realizes your legs are gone, you are already unconscious from hypoxia. It is a very slow, very heavy disaster. Heat is the final boss. Small animals lose heat quickly. Giant animals struggle to get rid of it. Your volume is massive, but your skin area is relatively small. Metabolic processes generate heat constantly. In a normal human, this heat radiates away. In a skyscraper human, the heat is trapped. Your core temperature begins to climb. This is not a fever. This is a slow cook. Internal organs begin to denature. Proteins unfold. You are effectively boiling from the inside out. The thermal energy has nowhere to go. Your internal temperature reaches a critical threshold. The moisture in your tissues begins to turn into steam. This creates immense internal pressure. You are now a biological pressure cooker. The skin, already stretched to its limit, cannot contain the expanding gases. At this point, the biological failure is complete. You are no longer a person. You are a 300-meter-tall mountain of overheated organic matter. The surrounding city is now in the shadow of a very warm, very dead giant. The collapse begins. Gravity finally wins the argument. Millions of tons of organic material accelerate toward the pavement. The impact is not a thud, it is a seismic event. A shockwave ripples through the city. Glass shatters for 10 blocks in every direction. Concrete foundations crack. The displacement of air creates a localized windstorm. Thousands of tons of biological fluid are ejected outward. This is essentially a tidal wave of blood and cellular debris. It washes through the streets, clearing cars and street signs like a flood. The impact registers as a magnitude 5 earthquake on local sensors. The heat from the internal boiling causes the surrounding air to shimmer. Steam rises from the wreckage in massive plumes. Local emergency services arrive to find a disaster zone that defies all zoning laws. There is no equipment designed to move a dead person of this magnitude. The cleanup effort requires heavy machinery usually reserved for mining operations. The city is essentially buried under a layer of biological sediment. It is a logistical nightmare of the highest order. Every sewer system in the district is instantly overwhelmed by the sheer volume of organic runoff. The smell is a secondary disaster. Scientific consensus is clear. Growing to the size of a building is a bad idea. You are dead. Your body has caused billions in property damage. The city is a ruin, but the real tragedy is the legal aftermath. Because you died during the growth process, your estate is held liable for the destruction. The municipal government files a lawsuit for the cost of the destroyed skyscrapers. Your life insurance policy has a specific clause regarding abnormal growth. The claim is denied. You are now a permanent part of the city geography. The government decides it is too expensive to move you. They simply pave over the remains. The area is renamed Giants Plaza. It is a popular spot for tourists to take photos of the oddly shaped hill. Next time, we will see what happens if you try to eat a sun. Subscribe to the What If Club for more ways to die. See you in the void.